Yeah, yeah, small birdie. Yeah, it's about right. Well, we need some music
There you go.
first before we do
There
anything.
you go.
Who do we want to listen to?
Need me to get your flag?
Yeah, it's outside. Yeah, go grab that real quick. We'll say the pledge. You guys don't have to. You don't want to.
What?
The Pledge of Allegiance. Well, you do, because hell, you're American also.
Yeah.
But let's see here. Dave Stamey. While we're waiting on him to get in here with the flag. Dave Stamey, Buckaroo Man. That's my favorite song. No, shut up. I hate freaking ass.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Big time.
I like Dave Stamey. When you get back to Germany, you have to listen to his stuff. One thing I've noticed when I'm playing music on here with this new setup, once I start talking, it really mutes the music down, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey Leslie, how's it going? Hey Lori, how you doing? You guys be sure to like this and share this with everybody, because as you can see, we got a full house today, and this is going to be pretty awesome. This thing here is one of those things that I was telling everybody about. So be sure to share this everywhere. She's the rank. Die-yippee-yi-yo on the back of my caballo. That's why I got to work for a living. I can't sing.
Much I never did sing much, but I'm sure enough. Buckaroo Man.
That's what I made for one day going out working cattle. One day. Not like one day.
That's why they call it work.
And it was work. There was nothing easy about it. It was a tough day.
5-year-old slicks in the canyon.
I am, Leslie. I'm feeling a whole lot better. I got my family with me, so I'm doing real good. So we're going to have us some fun today. We're going to talk about a lot of things. It's going to be an interesting deal. And this could go on for a while, so you better grab you a cocktail or a cup of coffee or tea or whatever and go from there.
Half a ton of grit between my teeth.
Die-yippee-yi-yo on the back of my... Hello, Mark. How you doing, sir? Hey, Jason. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, this music's not going to play. I'm only doing this until people get on here, Lori. But I'll turn it down right now. I have a tendency. My hearing ain't worth a shit, so sometimes I listen to things way too loud. My eyesight ain't worth a damn either.
Might have been you singing.
That's why But yeah, you guys share this, share it everywhere as you can. Even to your friends overseas. I told my friends in Australia that we was going to be doing this. Matter of fact, there he is right there. I'm telling him where we're live at. What do you think of that song? All of his songs are like this. They're cowboy songs. It's not country songs. It's cowboy songs and ranch songs. And you might like that. And he's good. It's just 90% of the time it's just him on the guitar. That's it. All right, we're gonna get going here. All right. So like I was saying, this is going to be a special show today. I got my family with me here. So this is my brother, Sean Logan. He lives over in Amarillo. This is his boy, Jason Logan. He's from Germany. And this is his other better half, Sina.
Hi.
And she's from Germany also. So after we get going here, we're all going to say the pledge first, and we're going to start this thing off right. So you guys say the pledge with us. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
All right. You can put that back up or just roll it up. One of the two. Whatever you want there. Yep, sit back down. Okay, so this is something I've been looking forward to doing for a while. As I said, Jason is born and bred in Germany. My brother met his mom. They met while he was still in the military, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's what I
That's
thought.
right.
That's right. But and then Sean lived for what, 17 years?
20 years, about 20 years. Yeah.
About 20. He just, I guess he liked it so much over there, he decided to stay. Which I like the beer. Good beer, good food, except for blood sausage, egg cheese. That stuff's nasty.
Yeah.
That's nasty stuff. But I love the beer,
Oh yeah, the beer's great.
especially the dark beer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that dark beer. So what I want to do first is, why don't you introduce yourself, tell them how old you are and where you live. And then Sean, the nice thing about Sean, oh yeah, my little brother got me a Christmas present early. What do you guys think of this? That's pretty cool, ain't it? I'm gonna put this thing right up on the wall and go from there. That's pretty awesome, I think. So why don't you introduce yourself, tell them how old you are and that kind of stuff, and that you're over here for however long, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. My name is Jason Logan. I'm from Germany. I'm 24 years old. I live in Heiligenwald. That's near Saarbrücken, near the French border. And yeah, I'm here to visit my dad and my family until January 3rd. I'm gonna stay over the Christmas and New Year's, so it's gonna be very great.
Now, your turn.
Now it's my turn.
Yeah.
I'm Sina. I'm also 24 years old, and I'm his girlfriend. We live together in Germany. Yeah.
And Jason he has dual citizenship, German and American, and Sina has Iranian and German citizenship, right?
Yeah.
Is your dad German? I mean Iranian, or your mom?
My dad.
Your dad
Yeah.
is Iranian. She's been there one time, and from what she said, that was enough. She ain't doing it no more. I ain't gonna be the other crap. And I don't blame her there at all. I don't. And we're going to get talking here about some things, and you guys might hear Sean do a little interpreting because, being from another country, we say things a different way than what they do, and he might not understand it, or she might not understand it, so Sean might interpret it or whatever. You've never done a live stream with me either, have you?
No, I called
You just called in.
Called
Well,
in.
my God, introduce your damn self.
Hey y'all, I'm Sean Logan, 52, little brother of the big one here. Born and raised in the great states of the United States of America. Very proud of what he's accomplished up to this point. Very proud that folks like y'all tune in. Thank you for all giving the attention, spreading the word, being the true Americans that you are. We try and inform, and Chris and I have got a lot of conversations on the phone. We've spent hours and hours and hours discussing situations. We don't always agree 100% on everything, but believe it or not, we do love each other, and we are appreciative of other people with the same ideas. Thank you very much.
One of the things too, me and Sean, as everybody knows, you guys know where we grew up, we had to live, and you guys know that I'm not bashful about any damn thing. You guys know that I tell it pretty much how it is, and I just don't give a shit. But one of the things today that makes me proud, God, I hate this. The older I get, the more damn sensitive I get.
It's the gray hairs.
But it must be. It must be. But the last time I seen Jason was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
11 years ago. you know, and it makes me proud to see the young man that's grown into.
Okay.
You know, the thing about I look at, you know, Sean and I were both in Germany in our military careers, and we was over there when there was still some times when stuff was going on, and I look at everything that's going on in Europe right now, all over Europe, with the riots, the yellow jackets trying to stand up against the government and everything. And with him coming over, I thought, well, right now would be a great time to get both of these two young people, their perspectives on what's happening in Europe, in Germany, how bad the corruption has come in, how bad the government is actually treating the people, how the government is actually against the people now compared to for them. Who was chancellor when we was there? Helmut Schmidt?
Helmut Kohl.
Kohl. You know, and the changes, I bet, have been just fantastic. Now, Sina or Sima? Sina told me we had lunch earlier up in big town of Weissai. And Sean and Jason went out and smoked a cigarette, and I was visiting with her a little bit. And one thing she told me was she's not into politics. And that's normal for a lot of young people to say, I don't want nothing to do with politics yet. And I told her, I said, well, the problem is you're going to have to be. Because your country in Germany is being overrun, not only by you have a worthless chancellor there, but all the Muslims coming in there, the UN trying to do everything they're doing in Germany is going to affect them for the rest of their lives while they're in Germany. And this is where I hate to say it, but it's time for them to start paying attention to what's going on in the political realm of things. And it got my mind to thinking about just what they're having to live with, what they're having to see, what has become an everyday occurrence that wasn't there when you were younger. You know, even when Sean was there, you know, what's happening now, what's transpiring now compared to the many years ago, and how it's gotten worse.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it hasn't gotten better. Because like we was talking earlier, when we was over there, it was 4 marks to the dollar, which was good. I can take $20 to go downtown Bad Kissingen, Germany, and spend all weekend and come back home with money. I guarantee you can't do that now.
No.
Now it's the money over there is not the mark anymore, is it?
No, it's the euro.
The euro.
Yeah.
What is that like in the financial markets? Is it worth a damn?
Not anymore like the mark. So
it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about, you know, when they tried to do this money changeover from the mark to the euro, I knew it was a bad thing right off the bat.
Yeah, me too.
And I seen a whole bunch of markets in Germany and Europe just completely fall apart instantly. But here's the thing about Germany. It's strange. When here in the States, you graduate high school, you can go to college. You can just go apply for a job anywhere you want to. It's not that way in Europe, is it?
No.
You know, wasn't going to school for diesel mechanics?
Yeah, auto mechanics.
Yeah. And you had to go to school for that?
Yeah, like 3.5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, always I have worked 2 weeks and when I had one week of school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you just couldn't go apply for a mechanic's job and say, hey,
no. You can do that in Germany.
no on-the-job training?
You have to learn just,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Oh, yeah, big time.
That sucks.
Big time.
Boy, that takes the market away from young men and young women trying to find jobs.
Oh, yeah. Right now, it's really hard to find a good job in Germany. So, yeah.
I imagine. Now, like Sina here, I asked her what she's doing, and you're in school studying.
University, yeah.
You're in the university studying arts,
English literature.
English literature and arts. And the arts, that she's learning isn't to draw or paint. Actually, you're more interested in the scientific stuff of it.
Yeah. And the history of arts.
Now, I thought that was pretty damn fascinating. I want you to talk on that a minute because I don't know nothing about that stuff. So, won't you tell these folks what that is?
I'm just at the beginning of my studies, so I don't know much about it yet.
Well, tell them what you know.
But I learned something about the old Greek and the
Romans. Mhm.
Romans, yeah, and their art. So how they paint back then, and yeah,
You know, and
architecture.
we look at art and we don't think nothing about it. I mean, it's a good looking picture. Okay, well, let's buy it and hang it up. But true art has a history, not only where the person decided to go do the picture, but the type of paints they use, what they're looking at, and all that stuff. And then the individual themselves. I think it's funny, every artist don't become famous till they die.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can actually trace pictures back 17th century, 16th century, 15th century. And that's what she'll be doing, is that kind of stuff. And I think that's just fascinating. Now, is this something you can go anywhere in the world and do?
I could, yeah, in a museum, yeah.
Well, there you go. Now, what do you want to do with your life? What are you doing right now?
Well, I'm working at a big fabric at a big company in Germany. We do filters for like John Deere and the tractors or something like that.
You make what, filters?
Yeah.
Oil
Oh,
and air.
Oh, like the air,
filters.
the oil filters?
Yeah, for John Deere, Caterpillar.
Oh,
stuff
really?
Like that. Yeah.
See, most people don't understand. A lot of the German industry serves the rest of the world under different names.
Oh yeah.
It's like Levi's. They used to have a plant in Amarillo. They would make 17 variations of Levi's, and the stitching would be a little different on this pair than that pair, and they put a different brand on it and send it out to the middleman, and then they would distribute it and sell it. In Europe, a lot of the products that they're making, like for him, the oil filters, they're making different sizes from your smaller, almost 4-cylinder, all the way up to your 18-cylinder. And
yeah.
and you know, for the trucks, for cars, for what have you, and semis, and they have a different name on them, and they have specifications that they have to meet, and they have a quality proof that they have to go through, and then once it's done, it has that name for that brand sent back to that company to distribute to sell.
Yeah.
So it's not all just made in the United States.
Now, did you have to go to school for this job too?
Well, I learned auto mechanic, so it's kind
So
of
that's how you-
like that. Yeah, you need
That's how you got into this
Yeah.
job.
you need a technical.
Okay.
training.
Now, I think that's interesting. What is Germany's philosophy on this? They think you need to go to school to learn how to do a job before you get the job.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So it makes you what, more productive?
kind of yeah.
Well, more informed.
Yeah.
And that way, when you show up, you're not just totally blank, because I went to technical school to be a factory electrician in Germany. And I had to take it in German. And whenever I got done, when we got to my first job in a factory, the Meister, who's basically the master electrician, who in our sense would be an engineer, called all the new guys in. There were 4 of us, and he said, "You just finished school?" And yes, sir. Forget everything you've just learned.
Yeah.
Because this is the real world.
Yep.
Theoretics are fine. They're great to have. But everywhere you work in the world from now until the day you die is different. And I'm a factory electrician for Owens Corning in Amarillo. And I'll tell you what, we have some technology that goes back to 1973. And we have some brand new technology that was just installed last week. So he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying at all.
Now, one thing I find fascinating about this is in America, well, if you want a job, you just go apply for it, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like here in Oklahoma, they're looking for people to go in the oil field, left and right. Even if you don't know shit, they're going to put you to work.
Yeah.
Hell, they even got guys driving oil field trucks that don't even have driver's license. They don't even have a CDL, but they're putting them to work. They're teaching them how to drive.
Mhm.
and then they're letting them drive for 60 days, and then they help them go take their CDL test.
Throw a body at it.
You know, it's basically on the job training, which I like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, like ranching, if you want to learn how to become a ranch hand, there is no school for that. It's a school of hard knocks.
Nope.
You go out there and you talk to the rancher and say, I want to learn to be a ranch hand. And first thing they'll do is they use horses. They'll say, okay, throw your wood on that steed. And most of the time people are like, what? Go catch that roan horse, put your saddle on there and crawl on him. Well, whenever they tell you that, I guarantee you he's going to be a freaking bronc. That's old school though. But now here in America, the capitalist aspect is you go do it yourself. You go out there and you put your feet forward. Whereas in Germany, it's more of you have to do what the government says in order to get that foot forward, right?
Yeah.
Now, I was just giving you guys some backgrounds kind of on what they have to go through. Now, are you working a job or are you just going to school full time?
No, I have a job.
What
at
do you do?
TV.
TV?
Yeah, behind the camera, helping out.
Oh, really?
Television station, yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
But it is small.
TV personality.
Regional.
But so did you have to go to school to learn that stuff?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Awesome.
That's just a student job.
Oh, okay. Student. Oh, okay. Like you're going to school and this is just a job to help you get through
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together now, and it doesn't equal 6. But now, would you consider, you know, the difference between socialism and capitalism and all that, right?
Yeah.
Now, with the schooling aspects, do you see that more of a capitalist adventure or more of a socialist adventure? Because the government's telling you before you can get a job, you have to go here.
Yeah. I think it's more like capitalistic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking, you know. And Sean, you answer this. You had to go through your schooling and stuff.
Mhm.
And they pretty much dictated to you. You had to learn this, this, and this
Mhm.
before you can even get a freaking job.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Did you notice the socialism aspect of it back then?
Oh, yeah, because the entire social side of getting a job is influenced by the government. I paid taxes for a year just so they would allow me to go and do that. So I had to have a job, a menial type job. I enjoyed it, but I had to find a job to pay taxes for 1 year because I wasn't a German born citizen. And it gave me the right then to apply for what they call a further training in a career, because I didn't have a career per se from Germany. Had I started out like my son, it would have been different, but I went in as an American soldier. Okay, I'm out now. What do I got to do? And they told me you have to pay taxes for 1 year, and then we'll allow you to go into a technical training. And they told me that I had 4 different areas I could go into, and I told them I wanted in the factory. And then they said, okay, what do you want to do in the factory? I could have been a machinist, I could have been a plumber, I could have been HVAC, I could have been an electrician. Any of those were open.
Wait a minute. Who told you you had 4 areas you can go into?
That is the employment office. They give you, basically, you tell them what area you want to train in, and they tell you what's available as far as schooling.
No shit.
So it's very registered, it's very guided and everything else. And then once you get done, yeah, then you can go and apply anywhere.
Wow.
But up until that point, I could have even worked while I was in technical school. But the problem of it is the time. It's like, you know, you have no time once you're in school.
Okay. Well, here's one of the. So the question I have. That's completely socialist telling the people what you can do and can't do as far as work.
Yeah, you're definitely held into the limits of what you're allowed until you're finished. Once you're finished, then it's open.
Right.
But all the way through school, they tell you what you have to take. Everyone takes the same thing. And then once you get into technical training, once you've made your decision what you're going to learn, during that course and during that studies, you're told exactly what's going to be taught and how. And so whenever you get done, the expectation is, just like in a socialist overview, everyone knows the same thing. Everyone is at the same level. And then it's up to you after the fact to get your feet on the ground and really go out running and really make something of it. And it's up to you whether or not you find just a job to get by, a job that will keep you at work for hours and hours on end and you won't have a family, or a job to where you can have family life, enjoy it, and make good money. It's up to you to go out and do everything. So it's basically they lead you by the nose, and then at a certain point when you're done, they let you go.
So it's up to you if you sink or swim.
And a lot of people have a problem swimming.
Oh, really?
They have difficulty because now they're on their own. They have to make that decision.
So they're so used to the government telling them what they had to do, when they had to do it, how they had to do it. When they got on their own, they couldn't do it.
And the way the government formulates it is, we give you the opportunity by getting you to that point. And from that point on, it's up to you to be an adult. It's up to you to be in charge of the rest of your life.
Okay. Well, that leads me to another question. Out of your military training, you was airborne, you was a red leg, which is field artillery. For those of you that don't know. No, he's not Outlaw Josie Wells.
13 Fox.
Yeah, that's another form of tankers. For you people with Red Con Media. So did your military training, because here in the States, you know, we can use our military background to try to use that with the everything to try to get trained for another job.
Yes, yeah.
Was you able to use that in Germany at all?
No.
You wasn't. You strictly had to go by German guidelines.
I had to go by their guidelines.
Okay. All right. Now, one of the things I want to get into, and this is going to be pretty much the meat of this whole thing, and this is going to be pretty intense because I want to delve into this pretty deep. First question is, you guys got any yellow jackets standing up to the government over there?
Oh, you can forget about in Germany. The people in Germany would never do that.
Really?
Yeah, they would never do that like in France.
They'll never stand up against the government.
No.
Why not?
I don't know, because I think they're scared or something like that. But that's the main part. The people have to go out on the streets against the government.
So they scared to go against Merkel?
Yeah.
Why? What the hell's so powerful about Merkel?
I don't know.
She's like Macron. You know, Merkel, Macron, it sounds like Beanie Weenies.
Eminem, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, well, I know Helmut Schmidt, when we was over there, he wasn't doing Germany any good either.
Mm-hmm.
He did do some good things, but I've never heard of Merkel doing anything good for Europe.
She
or for Germany.
She ruined Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we was talking earlier because when Sean and I was over there was still skinhead deals going on. This is when the East-West German border was up. When I was there, we patrolled the East-West German border. And I asked him about the skinheads because that was actually a big movement back then in the 80s. Skinheads were huge back then, and they were everywhere. But you said now they're not there. They're mostly in East Germany now compared to now. Well, you was over there when the wall came down.
Yeah.
Or was you in the States?
No, I was still there.
Okay. When the wall came down and we didn't have to patrol the border no more, that kind of sucked because I actually like going up patrolling the border.
Mm-hmm.
But I left right before the wall actually came down.
Yeah.
Now, was you able to meet people from East Germany?
Yeah.
And was it such a horrific shock for them coming from nothing to being able to have anything?
Everything, sure. For them, it was a culture shock because mentally, psychologically, the way they lived, the possessions they had, they were still in the 1970s. They had not been allowed or been given the opportunity or the means to advance with the rest of the world. So when the wall came down, they stationed me then over in Baumholder by the French border. Well, I got in my Nissan King Cab and drove over to where the border was, and I was looking for the blue and white poles, looking for the towers. Well, all the roads are open. Well, when the border was up, nobody lived in the first towns. They lived 2 towns in. That was kind of a security thing that the Russians had built. So I went into a couple of Meiningen. It's one of the towns. We protected the Meiningen Gap. That was a Black Horse, one of our regimental areas. I went into Meiningen, and I was alone. And I mean, I don't dress, you know, pretty or anything, but I was in some decent sweats and tennis shoes, and I drove into town and went to a park right in the middle of downtown. They were playing handball, and I got out of the truck and just stood there, and every action around me stopped. All conversations stopped. They saw a vehicle they'd never seen before, license plates they'd never seen before, someone in clothes that they didn't have those kind of clothes, with a haircut, and they just stood and watched me for a good 10 minutes. And I went in to order a piece of cake and a cup of coffee like I would anywhere else. And the lady behind the counter, excuse my French, she damn near shit herself. And I had German marks and I had US dollars. Of course, I gave her German marks, and they still had the East German marks. So she had to actually write down on a piece of paper how much money she should give me back, and she gave me back East German marks. So for them, it was a huge culture shock. Like I say, psychologically, they were not ready for it. And like Chris pointed out, they went from having nothing to here the border's open, and guess what? In Berlin, when the wall came down, 2 friends of mine that are from Berlin said that the young people wanted freedom, freedom, freedom. Well, they got in their vehicles, they went across the border to the first store that sold appliances, stereos, VCRs, televisions. They took all their money, the East German money, which they could now spend. They loaded up their car and went back home and said, we just bought freedom. That was their ideology, was bought freedom. They had just earned freedom for their country, for their side, the half of Germany that had been denied and separated and threatened for years that they grew up with. They didn't understand the thought freedom was literally you can walk out your door, drive to a town, sit down with other like-minded people of the same nationality, talk and exchange ideas. Because in East Germany, you didn't exchange ideas. They had someone standing outside of the churches with a clipboard and would write down the names of who went to church each Sunday. They had clipboards outside of a bar when the bar closed up. Who's going home late? At work, they had a political officer. The Russians and East Germans worked together, the Stasi. They have, to this day, they have, I think it's 3 billion files in Berlin that they have put into an underground library, that they had a file on every individual born in East Germany. And to this day, they're still going through things. They're still trying to figure out who was in charge of what. How did that happen? Historians are now trying to piece together what life was like, what caused this to go that direction, who had the influence on it. The Russians or the East Germans? Was it, you know, who was in charge of it? And yeah, it was a rough time for them.
All right. You guys keep sending your questions. I'm going to try to write them down. I'm not going to get to all of them, but I want this to go on for a bit if we can. So when I see your questions, I'm going to get to them eventually. Now, as a young people in Germany, what do you see is the number one thing that y'all have to battle against?
Refugees.
Refugees?
Yeah.
Refugees.
That was a fast answer, wasn't it?
Damn fast. And that brings up a good point on a lot of questions we're getting right now. What do you think, what is happening to Germany with, well, they're not refugees. We know that.
No, yeah.
Well, and Germany doesn't have, do you guys have an immigration system like America does, where you have to get visas to go to Germany, you know, that stuff, or do they just have to have passports from other countries?
I think they only have get a passport, something like that.
Mhm.
I don't really
From
know.
Europe, most of them are
Yeah.
just, they just come across
Just
the border.
passport.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody was seeking asylum,
Mhm.
do they just come into Germany and say, I'm seeking asylum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah.
And Germany just lets them come in?
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
Well, and they don't check the people before they come in Germany. They let the people in and then check the people. That's a
Kind of
Yeah,
Ass
so-
backwards.
yeah.
Ass backwards.
Yeah.
And see, that's what they're wanting to do here. They're just wanting to let everybody come in
Mhm.
before they even start figuring out. Now, with the influx of all the immigration that's going into Germany right now, what's it doing to Germany?
Destroying it. It's my opinion. It's making Germany broke.
Is it
Yeah.
economy-wise? Yes.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, from what you're saying, job-wise too.
Yeah. Big
Now, is the German government giving more to these? I'm gonna be nice. Is the German government doing more for the Muslims and them people than they are their own citizens?
most of the time, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
You agree with that?
they get really much advantages.
Oh, really?
Well, I have to go to German, weil Christians Schwiegermutter, die schafft im Kindergarten, hat einen Zettel gekriegt.
Mhm.
Von der Einnahme, was eine vierköpfige Familie kriegt, die kriegt 1800 Euro netto.
Oh, wow.
Nur für die Kinder. Und dann noch Wohnung bezahlt, Essen bezahlt und alles sowas.
Mann
Kleidung
und Frau
bezahlt,
oder nur Frau?
alles.
So a husband and wife have 4 kids and they come from another country, and as a refugee, they get 1,800 euros a month that they get to keep.
Really?
And then they also get food help. So as an average worker, you may make anywhere from 16 to 2,600 a month working your little butt off.
Is that euros or dollars?
Euros? Everything over there.
What's a euro compared to the dollar?
The euro is 1.36 to the dollar right now.
So $1.36.
Yeah.
To 1 euro.
Yeah.
Okay. That ain't worth shit.
No, but that's the international market. They've played with that all the
Right.
time. But
So anyway,
back to what he was talking about earlier. When he was going to school there were kids in his school, and I witnessed this twice. I'd go up to talk to him at school, and they have Albanians, Moroccans, all these other nationalities. The kids don't get taught at home to control your mouth, control your actions,
Oh, no.
and that you're responsible. The teachers up there would have one teacher outside on the recess, and he'd get surrounded by 5 of them, and he'd have to protect himself, and he did. But it gives you a bad reputation, and they called myself and his mom in one time and told us we need to slow him down.
Yeah.
And I looked the principal in his eye, and one of the teachers was there as a witness. They always have to do that, writing down notes. And I looked at both of them and I said, "You're the adults here. You control this school." And I said, "I'm not going to let my son be terrorized, threatened, beaten up, murdered in your care." And I said, I had to teach him, like we were taught, you never start something, but guess what, folks? You finish the shit right.
yeah.
So but the first time he defended himself was against 4. He got out. Okay. He had to sit in detention with a different way over there. Did that. The second time was 3 weeks later. 6 or 7, I think. Same kids that had had their butt handed to them brought in more friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where the mentality of these refugees coming in, they bring their mentality, and there's no control over the kids.
So the influx of the immigrants, I'm trying to word this right, has basically overran Germany.
Oh, big time.
And I know, I can just imagine how much of a struggle that has put on you guys.
Yeah.
Put a pretty big struggle, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, I had somebody ask a question. They said, with all the Muslims there and all the other immigrants there coming in, and Germany's taking care of them and not y'all, what do you think needs to be done for the government to start taking care of y'all?
First of all, they have to close the border and look at the German people that are out of the street and have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Help them first, and then help the other ones. That's my opinion.
So Germany now's got a whole bunch of homeless people.
Oh yeah.
Now, just to interrupt real quick, America, isn't that what we've been saying every damn day? Help the United States before we help others? Isn't this what the liberals are having such a damn hard time about? And here's an echo from Europe saying the same thing. Okay, who do we listen to? Should we listen to the liberals or should we listen to our hearts and our patriots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, so a lot of the problems that we're facing, you guys face over there.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of things that's happened there, the Democrats want to happen here.
Mhm.
They want us to get flooded with,
Yeah.
illegals. And we are a country, we have a rule of law.
Yeah.
And with that rule of law, we can't do this, this, and this, or if you do, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But it seems like in Germany, they've done away with the rule of law, except for what they want.
Yeah.
Now, how much does the UN play into what happens in Germany?
Oh, big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
So you've noticed that the UN really stuck their nose in and
Yeah.
doing a lot. Now, what do you think of that? Especially being Iranian, German. What have you noticed on that?
I would say, for me, as a woman, you can't feel safe anymore in the cities.
Oh yeah.
You can't walk just through the city. You have to be with another man or a group of women at least, because there are so many immigrants and they treat women other than we do.
Well, and see, if you're going to Saarbrücken, like it's the main city of the Saarland, you just walk on the boulevard. There are a group of immigrants, and you just have to look them in the eyes, and they want to go on you.
Yeah.
And the problem is they
They're
always
loud.
have knives,
Yeah.
baseball bats or something like that.
Really?
So you can do nothing against them.
So pretty much you're living in a war zone country.
Kind of.
And Germany never was that way.
No.
Germany was a beautiful country.
Yeah.
It's not.
Germans took care of each other.
And to being young adults, I know that's got to be a hell of a deal. Knowing every day that you could go somewhere, get attacked, raped, whatever, be in fist fights, trying to protect yourself. And that's not how you guys want to live, is it?
No,
you,
not at all.
You don't want to live with, possibility of being, like you said, you can't go nowhere without a group of people.
Yeah.
I've even heard of in Germany and other countries, Netherlands, Switzerland, a group of women go out because they think they're safe, and that entire group gets attacked.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen? Is that happening in Germany too?
Yeah. The New Year's
Oh yeah, in
Eve
Köln.
in Cologne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was bad, huh?
Oh yeah, there was
that
like
bad.
5 or 6 women that got raped or more,
More.
and the police doesn't care at all.
So the Polizei just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, there was a big cover up in the press too.
Is that coming down from Merkel that the Polizei just gives them free reign now?
Oh, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to get on another subject, what's your understanding or y'all's opinions on the feminist and LGBT agenda in Germany? You know what that is?
What's the LP?
So lesbians, the gays, the bisexuals, the transsexuals.
Transgender, all that
yeah,
crap.
yeah.
There's like 15 different genders now.
Yeah.
So, as young people, what's your opinion or your understanding on what they're trying to do with that in Germany and in Europe? Are they really pushing that hard to have trans this, trans that? I'm a man, but I think I'm a girl, but I might be a dog tomorrow.
Yeah.
And don't call me man or a woman or boy or
That's
girl.
the problem.
Call me an it,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
we, or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that pretty relevant over there too?
Mhm.
Now, I do know that when I was in Germany, the sexuality stuff they're pretty open-minded on a lot of things. I mean, even back in early 80s when I went there, I was flabbergasted by some of the stuff that I seen. But I imagine the government's really pushing for y'all to be accepting of the gay community and the gay lifestyle. And do they do gay schooling? You know, have them come into the schools to teach you guys how to talk to them and what to say and that stuff?
Not at all.
But they are here.
Yeah.
You know, they got the drag queens going in and reading the kindergarten.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. They don't do that over there.
No.
Good. Now, I do know, when I remember when I was there, they didn't allow that kind of stuff at all.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're still not.
Well, they're pushing the gay marriage kind of forward, so they allow it, but not all of the place, something like
No,
that.
not every state is allowing it.
So they are allowing the gay marriages
Yeah.
now and that stuff. Okay. Now, this is one thing I think is funny because here in America, they're really pushing this stuff. All right. But we got politicians that want the Muslims. They want the Sharia law.
Mhm.
And the number one rule for those guys is to kill everybody that's gay. You know, it don't matter if you're a man or woman. If you're gay, you're dead.
Yeah.
They'll throw you off a damn building. It don't matter. Now, you were saying earlier that everybody in Germany is too scared to stand up to the government.
Most of them, yeah.
See, I just don't.
Well, see, there was a transitional point that psychologically the Germans have had to get past. After the war, they had a Bundeskanzler, who was mainly a president, Willy Brandt. Willy Brandt had very formal ideas of making Germany a nationalistic capital that was in through the industry. If it said made in Germany, it was supposed to be number one in the world, and most things were. But at the same time, he told the German people, be proud of who you are, just be quiet about it. And he was very formal. He was one of these presidents, kind of like Ronald Reagan, and when he made a speech, everyone listened. Everyone adored the man. And the German culture was, we've lost another war. This was unsaid, okay? We've lost another war. Others have occupied our country. We've had to sign treaties, the Land Treaty of 1959, and we are now continually occupied by these forces within their regions. So now we have to develop a way of getting along. So this is when Germany was afraid to build their army again. They had a very minimal budget. The politicians started to think, okay, we need to rebuild the industry. So they went a total different direction. And then here comes Helmut Kohl. Helmut Kohl came in. This before the euro was introduced. And guess who the pushing force for the euro was? Helmut Kohl. Guess who financed 79% of making the decisions on the euro, printing the euro, and distributing the euro? Helmut Kohl. So he took the industrial side of all of what Germany was about, the superpower of industry, and he bankrupted them. And there's all kinds of stories behind the euro that I know that, you know, I could say, but whenever Helmut Kohl left office, the Germans didn't know where they were at. The extremely old ones that were kids during World War II or the survivors had one theory. The people that were born in the 60s and 70s had another theory. The people in our age had a totally different theory. And the kids didn't know which direction to go. Grandma and Grandpa said, be this way, act this way, you know, handle your life this way. Mom and Dad said, we've got to try and be international now. We've got to try and do this, but you still have to follow the rules. So you had a quarter from this point, a quarter from this point, and then here's the influence from MTV, rap music, video games, international travel, tourism from around the world. Okay, let's be young and hip and let's be cool. Let's start cursing in English and call everybody what it is and wear our pants down low and do everything else. So now you have a generation that whenever you say they're afraid to do something, yes, they are, because they don't know how to do these things. They don't know how to stand up for themselves. And then you got Angela Merkel. She stepped in and promised and promised and promised, and everyone said she was the lapdog of her party. Ended up being her party let her run wild and do what she wanted. So whenever she came in, first she tested the waters the first 2 or 3 years, And yes, she let the UN guide a lot of her decisions. That is in stone. There's nobody can deny that. The United States, between Bill Clinton, the Bushes, and Obama, kind of let everything smooth out and ride. Because guess what? The United States was getting some pretty sweet deals. Well, guess what? We got a real businessman in there now. A man who ain't afraid to pull up his big boy britches and tighten his damn belt and say what's needing to be said. Instead of spending $16 billion for the UN, we're down to $6 billion. And he told everybody else, Germany included, it's your turn. You pay the money. You fund the fight. So now the Germans are sitting there going, psychologically, they're in a huge question mark. How? They have no clue.
Are the citizens of Germany scared that the United States might say, go screw yourself, you're on your own?
Oh yeah, I think
What
so.
do you think would happen if that's what happened? If America pulled completely out of Germany, what do you think would happen to your country?
Will be lost, I think.
Think it'd go to hell in a handbasket real quick?
The new Partei von der CDU,
The party chief.
yeah, it's just like Merkel.
Mm-hmm.
Just the same. They are like this tight.
No shit.
Yeah.
Just like Macron.
Yeah.
And Merkel.
Yeah.
Got a bag full of Skittles over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Had somebody ask, what does your female friends, what do they think of the Muslims? Are they interested in them? They scared of them? Have some of them kind of been attracted to the thought of Islam?
I think they're scared. Yeah.
But we know what you think of it. You don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
And
I can say it because my dad is a Muslim, but he's living in Germany for 40 years now.
does he practice?
No, not
Now,
anymore.
see, people here think being a Muslim is actually like being Scott Irish. But being Muslim isn't actually
It's not an emotional trait. It's just a belief. That's all. That's all it
being
is.
Muslim is a religious belief, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and see, people here think, oh, he's Muslim. Okay, that's his nationality.
No.
Nationality, that's what I'm thinking. Muslim is not a nationality, is it? It's strictly a religious belief.
Mm-hmm.
So your dad, is he a practicing Muslim?
No.
He
Not
quit.
anymore.
He quit
As soon as he came to Germany.
as soon as he did. So he assimilated into the German culture and found a different religion, I guess, right? Okay, so he said, to hell with this. Yeah, I'm not going to kill my daughter because she disgraced the
He
family.
celebrates Christmas just like.
Does he?
Yeah.
Awesome. I like to hear that. So your friends and most females are pretty much scared of these ass clowns.
Yeah.
So what? One of the things that gets me is if America pulls out, Germany's going to fall.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
And you pretty much know that, right? Does the government of Germany ever talk about America and how much America has helped them and what they've done to help them?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Have you noticed that the history that you learned in school and what you know now, is it the same or is it completely different?
Different.
Completely different. So they're changing it.
Kind of. Think, yeah. Little bit.
They're trying to make it meet some kind of agenda to where it's like when we was there, I went and seen a couple POW camps.
Mhm.
Well, it still puts a chill up my
Oh,
spine. And there's still plenty of them around that you can go see and visit and stuff.
But we do it with a school. We're gonna go visit them and
Really?
yeah.
Are they still teaching over there that the Holocaust really did happen? No?
I don't know. No. Think not really like it
It's
was,
rare.
but
Yeah.
rare.
They probably don't talk much about World War II anymore.
No.
Because that was a hell of a defeat.
Oh yeah.
Hell of a defeat.
Well, and the problem is, if you're a German and you're a real patriot, you're a Nazi. You're straight up a Nazi.
But
That's the problem.
here we go.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, here we go with this because I know this from Excuse Facebook and all these friends that I still have in Germany, that the posts that they'll show. I get people sending posts on Facebook stating that day's newspaper article about the United States. Their press beats up Trump just as bad as ours does. They have no clue what's going on. I don't know where they're getting their information. Okay. At least the Brits, whenever they post something, they'll post a headline and maybe put a question mark behind it saying, can this be real? What have you? But the German press is doing exactly what our press is doing. They will post things like Trump's lost his mind. You know, who does he think he is, stepping out of the EU or getting away from the EU, getting away from the UN? Why is he holding money? And they actually said, why is he starving the world? Was one headline. Because he said he wasn't going to pay 16 billion into the UN, and he was going to back it down to where, like everyone else, 6 billion. And one headline in the Frankfurter Zeitung was, why is Trump starving the world? Okay, they called us in Germany, those politicians, they called us the world police. I heard this all the time. Verdammte Amis, damned Americans. Well, so I live with that. That was no problem. I was over there for 20 years. I heard anything and everything you could say about an American and or myself, which I didn't care. But because I spoke the language, I could discuss, not argue, but discuss. And I had more people telling me what it's like over here, and they had never been in continental United States. Most of them couldn't even speak the language. Most of them had never read any of the history books. But the press over there is exactly the same thing. I guess they read the AP Newsline every night and say, okay, AP saying that Trump's bad, so guess what? We're going to say Trump's bad. They do the same thing. So the influence that all the kids and everybody, when they're reading the newspaper or watching the news, they're getting that influence too. So they all want to go somewhere else because they see that their country's disintegrating and their leadership is letting it happen. And they have the desire to be somewhere else. He has the possibility, because he's a dual citizen. Today after tomorrow, he'll have a job. He's already got a social security number. You know, I made sure of that as soon as he was born because I'm proud. I want him to be in that position where he has that opportunity to when, excuse the expression, when the other side of the world goes to shit, we still have ours, and guess what? I can help take care of mine.
And I'm glad for that. Very glad.
Now, I asked her this earlier. Do you plan on moving to the States?
I was thinking about it, yeah.
I know it'd be tough to leave your mom,
Oh, yeah,
your
that's
grandpa, and grandma.
That's the main part.
No, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
But do you see more of a reason now to move to the States
Oh, yeah.
just because of what's going on?
Yeah.
Now, in Germany, are you guys allowed to own firearms?
You have to do a license and yeah.
And it is a long, costly process.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
In Germany, you have always do a degree and you have to spend a lot of money. Yeah.
Just to own a firearm?
Yeah.
Because I know the country ain't big enough to go hunting in.
No, you need it for everything. So.
And they're probably afraid everybody go hunting a Muslim.
Don't ask about getting a fishing license.
That sounded funny, didn't it? It's Muslim season. Well, yeah, there's a lot of countries in Europe where you can't own firearms. So we're like say it's a hell of a process to even think about it. Whereas here, all you got to do is go down there, fill out the papers, wait 7 days, go pick it up.
Yeah.
If you're not a felon, you know, and you got to have an in-state driver's license, but that's it. And that's one thing we're talking about too. I asked Sean, I said, well, since these guys are going to be here, he's supposed to start going back to work. I said, why don't they just rent a car and drive over? I didn't know this. I never knew about this. You have an international driver's license.
I have to get one.
You have to get one. Now, what the hell is an international? Or is it intercontinental?
No, it's international because I had to do the same thing. Because I lived in Germany for so long, my driver's license, my credit, everything here was basically deleted. So I had to use my German driver's license, my passport, go down and file for an international driver's license at City Hall. I had to show them that I had a German driver's license. They pull up my driver's license, file and all that. They put in my passport information and they issue me one that's good for 2 years. That means you have taken a test, and normally he would have to go down to a driving school, take a test to recognize U.S. There's like 7 countries that have the same signs and road conditions that we have. The European driver's license covers everything. You can go to Russia, you can go to Scandinavia, anywhere. But to come to the United States, you have to have an international driver's license to be able to rent a car and to drive in the continental United States. You have to have those 2 things, and your passport and driver's license have to be on you at all times. Those are your only 2 options.
Wow.
So he cannot rent a car and drive a car in the United States. He can't drive my pickup truck
Without the
without his
driver's
driver's
license.
license.
Wow.
So that's kind of the handicap once you get out of.
See, now, if we had an extra room, I'd just tell you guys stay here because y'all let you drive all over hell and back. I mean, my God's dirt roads everywhere.
Right.
Who the hell's going to stop you?
Oh, yeah.
You know, because county sheriff don't even come out here. That's what makes it nice. So, you know, one of the things too that I'm interested in with the Muslims taking over now, is there Muslims being elected into office as far as being representatives and that stuff?
We have 1 Muslims in the Bundestag, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Senate.
Okay. Do you see a bunch of them really trying to take over like city offices and stuff like that, become like a mayor?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
That's not happening
No,
yet.
They're doing the stuff in the background.
All in the background. Okay. So basically, they're trying to destroy the country from behind the scenes.
Oh ja. Well, meiner Meinung nach wollen sie einfach eine Arbeiterschicht machen, wo sie einfach die Muslime oder allgemein einfach einen Mischmasch aus allen Ländern machen und einfach die Leute dumm machen, aber nicht dumm genug, dass sie noch schaffen können.
Yeah, the idea is to make a working class where you've got such a mix and combination of all different types of nationalities, personalities, what have you, and you just keep them stupid. And no matter what you tell them to do, you just make them work. That's all they're there for. So they don't know how to vote. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to demonstrate like you're talking. And that is basically how the overseers in that sense are trying to influence the voters and the everyday life of let's go elect an official. They want everybody basically just go do your job, be stupid, be uninformed about politics and what's going on around your neighborhood, much less what's in the Capitol, and just go and vote, and we stay in power and we're good.
This is where I was telling you earlier that you need to start paying attention to what's going on political wise, because it's going to affect you, especially if you 2 wind up getting married. It's really going to affect you. You know. Now, have you noticed? Everybody knows who the world's famous Jew Nazi is. How much is Soros screwing with Germany?
George Soros.
Wer ist das?
Der war ein Nazi-Aufseher beim Konzentrationskampf.
Oh.
Der ist Billionär, Multibillionär hier in den USA. Der ist die Hintergrundgeld für so viel sozialistisch überall, die Unis, die
I
Demonstrationen.
don't really know about that.
Yeah.
You don't know about George Soros?
See, George Soros,
I don't know him.
yeah.
Oh, really?
He's not well known in Europe. George Soros did his Nazi concentration camp thing and then came over here and somehow is a multi-billionaire. And over here, everyone knows he's behind just about everything. And he's not hiding it either. He puts out speeches.
Oh, yeah.
But in Europe, nobody cares about him because he's not influencing them. But
That might be something to check into when you get back over, because he was a Jew. As growing up, he was Jewish.
Yeah.
When him and his family and his friends were arrested, he said, "No, I'm German." He turned on his own family, turned on everybody. I'm not Jewish, I'm German. Became a Nazi. As Germans, you need to know that.
Yeah.
Because this is a man who has more political influence throughout the entire world.
See, they didn't teach us that in school.
yeah, they won't.
Really?
Yeah, they won't.
It's just like the Rothschilds.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest money family out there.
Yeah.
You know, Rothschilds are German.
Yeah.
You guys learn about them?
No.
Well, see, that's once they get on this side of the pond, a lot of their family history stops. And
See,
it's picked up over
And
here.
this right here tells me, now maybe it's just me, but this right here is telling me how much they're keeping the rest of the world out of the order, and they're coming to America trying to destroy the sovereignty of America, but they're keeping it hid from the country that they're from. Does that sound right?
Yep.
They're not wanting the youth of that country to know exactly what the hell's going on. And it makes you wonder. It really does make you wonder. Now, one of the things I'd like to know too, how much of what happens in America takes effect and stuff in Germany? Does things that happen here affect Germany at all?
Yeah, like the industrial and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like our stock market and the
Mhm.
Dow Jones and
Yeah.
the financial end.
Yeah.
But what about with our president? With things that's going on with our president, is that causing problems in Germany right now too? Because we see people in France, they're saying we want Trump.
Yeah.
We see people in all these other countries saying we want Trump.
Well, the most of the German hate Trump.
Most of Germany hates Trump.
Yeah.
Really?
Again, the only information they have is through their own media.
Yeah.
Who acts like our media. So,
Which is a socialist entity.
so you can imagine why they say that.
Now, do either one of you want the people of Germany to take their country back?
Oh yeah.
How do you think that's going to happen? What do you think needs to happen for the people of Germany to take Germany back?
Well, first of all, we have to go out on the streets like the Yellow Jacket in France.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. That's the first point we're gonna start with.
Right. Yeah, without the riots. You know, go out there and do your protesting, but don't tear shit up
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. But everybody's so scared of the government, or is it the Polizei, or is it Merkel, or what?
It's kind of a little bit of everything, I think. Yeah.
Do you think she'd call martial law?
No.
You don't think she would?
No.
You think the military's behind her, or is the military against her?
I think some of them are against her and some of them are with her, but I don't really know. So
I don't think she has the strength of enough of the nation behind her and her own ideas to
Well,
control everything.
yeah, it's mostly the elder people who with our Merkel. The younger people, 80% of the younger people hate Merkel.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So is their political system over there the same like liberals and Republicans, or is it like the Labor Party against?
Well, it's a combination of, again, England, the United States, Germany. They're almost combined in a lot of ways, but that's like some of the things that I've heard in the last 2 weeks alone through friends on Facebook. There's a party over there called SPD, and they used to be the Workers' Party. They used to be the ones the union turned to. I was a union representative, and we would turn to the SPD, and you would go to a Senate member and say, we have this major problem that's arising, and we would try and get ahead of it within the union, through the union to the politicians. That way they could bring a motion onto the Senate to make things happen. I was told 3 weeks ago the SPD is no longer the Workers' Party. The SPD is changing, that they're losing power, and that others that used to be in another fraction, what used to be conservative liberalism, which is it's a strange combination, but it actually exists over there, that they are gaining force.
Really?
like the AfD.
Yeah.
It's like the AfD is like the NSDAP. It's like the drittehöchste Sitz im Bundestag.
Yeah, they've got the third highest population in the Senate right now, and they didn't used to have, but I think less than 1% at one point. They were barely even noticeable,
Oh, really?
and now all of a sudden they're the third highest party in the Senate itself. So their vote, their background of their ideas are starting to seep further in, and the CDU that Angela Merkel has been in charge of. She said she's not going to run again. She's not in charge of the party anymore. And like he was saying, the number two is just a girlfriend that's next door, and I got this. I'm okay. I'll fix this. They're like-minded, and so you don't have any way out.
Right. What have you heard about in America? There's a big thing going around saying Merkel is Hitler's daughter. Have you guys heard that in
No,
Germany?
not at all.
Yeah, everybody. There's a whole bunch of dumbasses here in America saying Merkel is Hitler's daughter.
Well, she was in the Hitlerjugend.
Do what?
She was in the brown shirts.
Yeah, brown shirt, yes. But they're saying that she is his
She's
biological daughter.
Yeah, no.
I'm kind of like, really? I don't think so.
No, she was in the generation of the brown shirts and the singing for the Fuhrer and all that. Yeah,
Right.
she was in that generation.
Yeah. Well, and we both know when we was over there, they were still trying to find Hitler's body.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they was going all sorts of places trying to find him.
There's
They
still
never,
claims of
never
all kind of
found
stuff, yeah.
But, and I have some pretty good sources that actually said that he died in
Argentina, probably.
Argentina.
Mhm.
And they have everything of his down there.
Well, they told us that Hitler shot himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for example.
Yeah.
In the bunker. And
And I do know that he made lamps out of human skin for,
Dr. Mengele, he did that for his wife, yeah.
yeah. And, but anyway, when do you want people of Germany to stand up and take their country back?
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
If somebody came to you tomorrow and said, Jason, I want your help. I want you to help me get people organized so we can start taking our country back. Would you do it?
Oh, yeah. I would stand up. Definitely.
You know, because it takes patriots
Oh, yeah.
to do it. And here, you know, it was funny earlier, you said if you're a patriot in Germany, you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
Same here.
Straight ahead.
Same in America. We're Nazis since we're patriots. You know, we have a constitution that guaranteed our freedom. We have a Bill of Rights that supports that. And we have the republic that the people of America live in, that we fought and died for. Now, back in the day, Germany was the same way. I don't know about a constitution or nothing like that, but back centuries ago, the Germans fought for your country, and that's how it came about. And if we was to stand up to our own government right now, we're as of today, we're being called Nazis. We're being called racist. We're being
Oh, yeah.
called everything. And you probably heard those terms over there too,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
You know, just because you talk about somebody who's a different color skin, mixed races, you know, Iranian and German.
Yeah.
They're probably going, well, you're racist. How in the hell can I be racist? You know, I'm German and Iranian. You know, my dad was a practicing Muslim until he came to Germany. And then he found out, screw you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm done with this. But
There's an old saying, if I can jump in right quick. There's an old saying that I heard said while I was going to high school. I was on the debate team. And there was a man, he might have been around 80. He was visiting one of our competitions, and he was allowed to speak to us because he was a former senator. And he said, when it comes to politics, it's better to have no opinion than to have an uninformed and uneducated opinion. And I mean, I understand her way of being where she's at now, because it's not been a mainstay. It's not been a main draw in her life. She's trying to study, trying to get her future going. But the thing that makes me the most sick, and I know there's a lot of y'all out there gonna clap in the background and hopefully hoot and holler. College kids of today, high school kids of today, middle management of today. If you don't know what the Constitution is, if you don't know your Bill of Rights, if you do not understand your U.S. Senate and electoral system, if you do not know how your government is supposed to work, listen very carefully, libertards, little idiots, young, stupid knuckleheads, shut the hell up.
Is there people doing this in Germany?
I don't think so. They're not allowed kind of this.
They're not allowed to?
No. Well, you don't see it in public. That's
Really?
Yeah.
So one of the things I seen on here was, I hope you guys don't get in trouble when you go back. I don't think they will.
No.
But do you think the government would come after you if you started doing live streams talking against the government?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
You think they would?
Yeah.
Censorship is pretty big right there.
Mm-hmm.
They're censoring you guys pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you do if he went and started standing up against the government?
Would support him.
Would you go with him?
No.
You know, the biggest thing is being ex-military. We know a lot of people say they would do this, they would do that. When it comes down to it, and you're put into a certain situation, you got some quick thinking you got to do. And we find out just how quick somebody says they'll do this, that, and the other, but then they won't because they're too scared. And it's okay to be scared, but you got to learn how to take that fear and turn it into something positive.
Take that first step.
And that's the problem. And this is where I can see in Germany, like in America, we're going to have to take that first step. And you guys are too. They're doing it in France. They're doing it in Canada. They're doing it in Brazil. They're doing it everywhere else. They're starting to take that first step and stand up against the UN, against their own country.
Yeah.
And the worst part is, you could lose everything.
Oh,
Everything, even your life.
yeah.
Because I remember when we was over there, Poland's out weren't nice at all.
Yeah, they didn't ask questions.
No, they just beat the shit out of you and throw you in jail. And if you lived, you lived.
Yeah.
You know. But I can see where the people in Germany are scared. Because you guys still have a big senior population too, don't you?
Mhm.
And do you think the seniors would actually join in and help go
No.
against the government?
No.
You don't think they
Not
would?
at all. No.
They're so indoctrinated
Oh yeah.
into the socialist way of
Mhm.
doing things. But both of you want the socialism gone. You want to have a capitalist society where you can go just start your own business
Oh,
and
yeah.
without government interference and
Yeah.
all that crap. Well, that's the goal of everybody
Yeah.
throughout the entire world
Oh,
is
yeah.
to live without this stuff. Now, with the UN doing everything they're doing, I can see where that's destroying you guys big time. And if it comes to the point to where the UN gets what they want, this is where you two are going to have to make up your minds whether you're staying or going.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to be a tough bone to chew on.
Oh yeah.
You know, because your mom, your grandparents saying we're not going anywhere.
Oh no.
So it's kind of like, do I leave them? Do I stay?
Yeah.
What do I do?
That's the point.
Same with you. You know, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, especially if they come out and say from now on, women have to start wearing burqas. What would you say?
I don't know. So I would say, you say his grandparents doesn't want him to leave. And I would say my dad can't say anything about this because he left his parents too. So I can do this too.
Right. But what I mean is, ain't that what they call the burqa?
Mhm.
The thing or dressing where all you see
Yeah.
is the eyes? What if they told you, if the government came out and said all women must dress that way now?
No way.
You'd fight that?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, they wanted to start teach Muslim in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they're trying to teach Islam in school.
Yeah.
So they're indoctrinating. Well, how young are they teaching these kids that stuff? Kindergarten, first grade, second grade?
That's great.
Yeah, I think it started at first or second grade.
So it's not just happening here, it's happening over there. And they have it 1,000 times worse than what we do. But see, they got multiple things going against them, folks. For one, they can't stand up against their government. For two, they are so indoctrinated into the socialism way of living. They know what they want. They want a better life. They want more of a capitalist system, but their own government is so corrupt with lies, deceit, and everything. Where the hell do they start? You know, here we are over here, we're bitching, moaning, and groaning. But these guys have to live in it every single day. They have to live in a government that dictates to them what they can listen to, what they can't listen to, what goes on TV, what doesn't go on TV, what they have to learn, what they can't learn, that kind of stuff. And, you know, the funny thing is President Trump came out the other day, and actually other people said too that if they go after the president, like they're talking, the president of the United States, that America will have an unrest. What do you think that would do in Germany if America started a war within its own country? Because if we start fighting in our own country, we ain't gonna do nothing for you guys because we're trying to settle our own shit.
Well, Germany's getting kind of lost with the military stuff and kind of like that, and of course with the industry and the financial stuff, it's going big time down, I think.
Yeah, because if we have war in our own country, yeah, your finances are gonna go to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
And you have to imagine, if we have a civil war that starts here, the military calls back everybody from the other countries, Korea, Hawaii, Japan,
But Bumble
Germany.
empty.
Right.
All
And
of
so-
Germany would be empty of
So
military.
at this point, now you've got an open door policy, every country against every country, because guess what? The world police are no longer here.
Oh yeah.
Guess what happens when mom and dad go out dancing and get drunk and stay in a hotel that night and the kids got all night? Guess what happens in the world? The same exact thing. Open door policy. I don't like you. You got what I need. We just want to do it just because we can. Here we go. The egos start hitting the fan.
Right. You know, and the bad part about it is Germany was a beautiful country. A lot of history, good and bad.
Oh yeah.
Good and bad history. I mean, we've seen some of the castles and some of the churches with all the gold and the silver and the copper and the brass. And I mean, there's so damn, you can't take a picture in there because it's so bright.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And a lot of the castles, just the castles themselves are kind of holy
Gorgeous,
crap.
Yeah.
You know, in the forest and everything. And I used to hang around some guys that raise cattle and help them put them in at nighttime and then turn them back out in the morning. But if I was to go over there again right now, I'd probably be amazed at how shitty it is.
Yeah.
You know, compared to when I was there.
Oh yeah.
And that's a shame.
Yeah.
You know, because in life, we want everything to be better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as young adults, it makes me wonder what you guys are facing in Germany. What are you guys going to be facing in 2 years, 5 years?
Nobody knows.
And that's the scary part.
Yeah.
You know, do you think Germany would be a place to raise a family?
In 5 years? I don't think so. Not everywhere.
You know, and that's the scary part.
Yeah.
You know, this is your home country you're talking about. And you're sitting here admitting that in 5 years' time, it's probably not going to be a good place to raise a family.
Yeah.
You lose that heritage. You lose that knowing your country is there for you and your children. And it won't be there.
No.
The Germany you grew up with ain't going to be there. Same with you. It's not going to be there.
Yeah, the changes are coming so fast.
Yeah.
And I think it's overwhelming to not only the way they were raised, but also the true beliefs of a standard German. I say standard German, someone who was born there. It didn't matter what other country their parents came from, but a standard German who went to school and was raised in the German system. Everything's happening so fast. It's like now there's a turnstile that's at the end of the road, and in a couple of years, that thing could be spinning like a top with new ideas and new people and new politicians and new controls. Nobody knows where they're going.
Now I want to ask, this question is strictly for you, because your dad was a Muslim, all right? And what does he say now about what he's seeing that they're doing in Germany as far as the Muslims go and that stuff?
I think he would stop the war back there, so the refugees don't have to refugee.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Does he see the problems that the Muslims are bringing to Germany?
Yeah.
And what does he think of that? How they're trying to change Germany into another third world country?
Oh,
Yeah,
Does your dad wish that there was a way to stop it from coming into Germany?
don't know.
That might be something to talk to him about, in all honesty. You know, this might be uncomfortable, but it might be something to talk to him about, because as a young woman
Mhm.
in Germany, you got to figure out how to protect yourself against them Muslims.
Yeah.
whose firm belief is you don't have any rights. You can't say boo without getting your head cut off, you know, or beat to death, or stoned to death,
Yeah.
or anything like that. And as a young woman who comes from a family of ex-Muslims, this is where both of you need to sit down and talk to him in all honesty and find out, what do you think about what's going on in Germany now with all the Muslims coming in and trying to take over? And what happens if they bring Sharia law to Germany? You're screwed.
Big time.
You're screwed. You know, and I can see where you guys have so much against you as young adults, trying to come up, trying to do things right, trying to do things the best way you can. I hate to say this, but I can see where your country's screwing you guys over. You know, and it might come down to the point where you have to leave.
Oh yeah.
No offense, ands, buts about it. You know, I'll guarantee you this though, if you do leave, you got a place here.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you that. You got a place no matter where I'm at. You know, family's family.
Right.
So
No matter where.
I'm here. You've been over my my son's house today.
Yeah.
You met Josh and the family over there. Of course, and I got a daughter up in Montana.
Mhm.
You know, so both of you are more than welcome here. I don't have a problem with that one damn bit. And I guarantee you what, you let them son of bitches from Germany try to come here and do anything, they're going to find out what American West justice is really like. Because they won't make it out of a freaking car.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee
I've
you
had
that.
Yeah.
You know,
And we appreciate that really.
you know, and I see our world changing so much, and none of it's for the better. Even in America, I see so much crap happening. It's not for the better.
No.
It's not. And there's guys like me, Big Sarge, Zach, Jason, Jeremy, Will, Jermaine, everybody. We're out here, Lucretia. We're out here telling you guys what's wrong. Not trying to. We're not lying to you. We're telling you the truth. We're right here. You have the spoken truth from people that live in Germany. We're raised in Germany. You have people that have to live with this crap every single day. And it makes me wonder, I know for a fact I couldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it. But at the same time, it makes me wonder, when are the people of Germany going to stand up?
Yeah.
What's got to happen to make the people of Germany want to stand up for their own country?
Right.
We know Poland. Yeah, there was a lady who started a deal in Poland. This is Poland. This is our country, not yours.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone.
Yep.
They're all gone.
Lech Walesa, he was a labor leader and ended up becoming their president.
Yeah.
And when he started the movement, they had the same
Well,
problem.
there's another lady who started something in Switzerland. I think Switzerland's bad too, ain't it? Or is it still neutral?
No, it's still neutral.
Yeah.
Still neutral. There's another country over there where a lady stood up and actually stood up for her own country. I'm thinking it was
Might have been Sweden. I don't know.
Sweden.
Yeah.
And they arrested her ass.
Yeah.
They put her in prison.
Mhm.
They said she was just inciting violence. And they quieted her fast. Well, I guarantee you what, America ain't gonna stand for it.
Nope.
Because even if I have to get my big ass out there and put my life on the line, I will. I don't have a problem with that. I'll do it in a heartbeat. You know, just for the love of my country and the love of my countrymen and my family, I'll do whatever it takes. I'm a big target, you know, so they can hit me from a mile off. But that's okay. I don't have a problem with it. Now, one of the things, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is, you said in 5 years Germany is probably not going to be a good place, right?
Right.
And does that scare you? Does?
No.
So in 5 years, if Germany goes to hell in a handbasket, along with the rest of Europe, and America is still fighting this, but something else happened. There's a rumor out there that this battle that could start in America can actually go overseas.
Yeah.
And if it does, the people of the European countries will have to get involved. If they do,
Yeah.
if they do, it's going to be huge. This ain't gonna be no small thing. This gonna
No.
be this gonna be another world
Yeah.
type thing. With that being said, the question I have to me is obvious, but for you guys, where's your loyalties lie, especially you, because you got family here and there.
Oh yeah.
And I don't blame you if you say your loyalties are in Germany, because that is your home country. But if it came down to it and they made you choose America or Germany, what would you choose?
I think it's gonna be America.
Well, I guarantee you what, if me and his old ass have to get over there to Germany and come get you, we will.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I
Even
know
if we
that.
got to take a damn boat,
Oh, I
we
know.
will show up
I know that.
sooner or later.
Let me throw a footnote in here for a lot of your viewers. I didn't explain this earlier. I went to Germany in November 23rd, 1985, and left in 1st of May 2005. So I was there for 20 complete years. So I don't mean to say there's doubters out there, but there are doubters out there. I did serve in the military from 84 to 92, got out, was already married to a German lady, his mom, started working and lived and had the rights of a German, except for voting and being in their military, which already had that fun. So, you know, the thought of where does he get all his information, that's where. I worked and lived, and I had a lot of hats that I wore in a day. And the 20 years I spent there, I saw a lot of changes, saw a lot of great, good things happening internationally, but then I also saw the declines happen, and like we pointed out a few earlier. And I don't want to see that happen here. When I came back here in 05, the biggest question was, which church do you go to? And that bothered me more than anything. Not because I don't go to church, not because I'm not a Christian. It's simply because I wanted to know the mentality and the state of my country when I came home. I wanted to know where the hearts of Americans were. And I've seen them go in so many directions, and it bothers me. But I want America, through Chris, through other gentlemen, through Red Con, through all these great patriots and all these people putting out great words and spreading the great message. Let's get ourselves back to where we need to be.
You know, and the religion aspect, that's a whole nother show, because religion throughout the centuries has been main causes for war just in itself. Now, what religion are you guys?
Christian.
You're Christian. Now, see, in America, it's kind of funny. You can say Christian, but they won't know if you're Baptist, Pentecostal,
Yeah.
Methodist.
Which one of the
You know,
1,500 are
We
you?
only got two. We got the
Catholics,
and the,
Protestant.
yeah.
Catholics and Protestants, just like Ireland. You know, and you know, and it's a shame. It really is. But you know, hearing these firsthand accounts of what Germany's really like compared to what it used to be like, for me, it's scary. And I know it is for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have to live it every single day. And my ass would probably be in jail a lot. Just because I am brutally honest and I don't tolerate a lot of crap. And I don't tolerate a government that screws us over every single day. And one of the questions, I just thought of another question. You know, you made the statement earlier on, you need to secure your borders.
Yeah.
What does your country do for your veterans?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
I don't think so. No.
I've never seen any movements.
Nothing for vets at all.
No.
Because I used to know a lot of vets over there. A lot of guys that served in the German military. Great guys. And men and women.
Oh, yeah.
Patriots. Big time patriots. And here, that's the big thing too, is they don't do shit for our vets. They don't care about us at all. Now, the question with us is, what do you do first? Do you secure the border, or do you take care of your vets? And to me, it's on the same level.
Oh.
Same level. You take care of your vets and you take care of your border, because without your vets, you don't have a military.
That's the point.
You know, and it can be done. It can be done. And that's a shame too, because you have countrymen that fought for y'all, that protect y'all every single day. I've trained with them. He's trained with them. during Reforger and all these other exercises. And it's a shame knowing that once they get out of the military, screw you.
Yeah.
We're done with you. You know, and they didn't get paid shit at all. You know, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. Have you ever thought about going in the military?
In Germany?
No.
No.
No?
No. In here, I would, yeah. In
You go,
America, I
if
would.
you came to the States, you'd
Oh, yeah, I would.
really.
But in Germany, not.
I don't like hearing that.
Well, I have a lot of friends that went to the Bundeswehr, to the military in Germany. The main part you learn about in military is drinking.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some bitches drink a lot.
But
Sean can tell you, when I was in Germany, I tried to stay up with those guys all the time. I drank my fair share of beer.
I'm out rappelling 190-foot cliffs with the Ranger Battalion, and he's over there drinking himself.
Somebody's got to do it. I volunteered. You know, they always say don't volunteer for things. Well, I did. I volunteered to drink with the Aussies and the Germans and, you know, play all the beer games.
Public relations.
You damn right. PR. It's got to happen. Leave it to a calf scap, do the PR.
That's right.
You know, but, okay, I want your opinion. What do you want to happen in America and in Germany to make things better?
Mehr Zusammenarbeit.
Working together. More cooperative work.
trust each other.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
Germany is actually an ally. And they're cutting those ally ties. And if they cut them completely, you guys are cut off.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody calls for America to babysit them.
No.
To pay for everything. And like President Trump, he went to the EU, he went to NATO, he went to
Brussels, he went everywhere.
he went to the UN, said, screw y'all, y'all pay us what you owe us. Germany can nowhere repay us what you guys owe us.
No.
There's no way at all.
No.
Because basically after World War II, we rebuilt your country just like we did Japan.
Yeah.
And so I'd hate to see that. And I agree with you. We do need more cooperation. We need more getting along. Because there's so much freaking hatred right now.
Yeah.
Not only in our own country, but in the world. There's a lot of hatred. And I will tell you this. I've noticed some beautiful things in Germany with the culture. And all the Germans that live in America have tried to bring their heritage with them and keep it in their family. And if we could incorporate that into being the melting pot that we originally was, that would be great. We just don't need the hatred no more because there's so much hatred and it's very infectious. Hatred, like negativity, breeds hatred and negativity. And I see that here plus over there. A lot of hatred, a lot of negativity, a lot of, and you guys are scared to take on your own government. That's really bad.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, that says you guys got a lot of thinking to do,
Oh, yeah.
you know, as a generation. Now, do they call you guys millennials also?
I think so. They did, or?
I don't know.
Gibt Konspitznamen für ihr Alter?
No.
No, not for us.
No,
I
it
think
doesn't,
that's
it doesn't
nice.
apply so much over there.
Yeah.
We tag everything with a name. We act like old girlfriends and stuff. That's like you were saying,
Yeah.
the hate that everybody's bringing. Everybody's living in what did happen, what someone else said, what happened 40 years ago with this country to this country. We need to all, just like you said, every bit is correct. Stop all that BS, take and go from today. It's just like every family. You look ahead, you plan for the better days, you plan for a better future, you plan for more cooperation, more trust, more just working together to make the world supposed to be for our kids. I mean, we're going to leave it, and guess what? They're still around, and their kids are still around, and the next generation's kids. And it's not about just the environment. It's not about just feeling good about each other. It's not about giving each other the correct names. It's about, let's make this thing right. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you think I'm stupid. I don't care. If we can work together as countries, governments sitting down putting the egos aside. Kill the freaking press. Kill them.
Yeah.
Just get them
Oh,
out
yeah.
of there. Don't even let them
Yeah.
know anything. Go into a media blackout for about 30 days. Do some serious sit-down talking. Get these secret organizations revealed. Get everybody that's supposed to be a part of them and kick them all out of office, kick them all out of the international scene. Let's sit down and actually start thinking about what are we doing for tomorrow? What are we doing for 10 years? The steps, the 1,
Yeah.
5, 10, 15,
Right.
25 years from now. You're right. You're absolutely right.
You know, and it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder just how the hatred has been going down through generations,
Mhm.
how it's amplified in today's term.
Hatfields and McCoys, buddy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
My great grandpappy and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And I do know this. I'm proud of both of you because you guys, in all honesty, are living in times that most of our youth in this country couldn't do.
No.
They couldn't live with people telling them what to do. They'd be bitching, moaning, and groaning, crying all the damn time.
My feelings are hurt.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Seema here, she's going to school at the university. She's trying to get her degree so she can get a job. At the same time, she's messing with horses, trying to do, you know, all this stuff with the horses and stuff. Jason had to go to school so he can get a freaking job. And it still boggles my mind that you have to go to school to get a damn job. I'll never get over that one. But with the socialist aspect that you guys have to live with every single day, our youth couldn't do that because of these things.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, do you guys have the same problems over there?
Oh, yeah.
These fucking
Little
things?
kiddies like 6 or 7, they have a new iPhone, the newest one on the market. Always playing with it, texting.
Really?
Yeah. And that's bullshit.
Again, the culture, the newest generation, the newest wave of ideas. Grandpa and grandma never had them. Would look at him and go, I don't know what that is. And now 3 generations later, they can't live without them. It's their heartbeat, just like our kids are doing.
Right.
So there we go.
Well, I got a final question here. Have you guys ever been taught or read the Constitution or ever was heard about the history of our founding fathers of America?
I heard about it, but I don't remember anything
You was never taught that in school or anything?
No.
at university.
Well, I will say, being dual citizenship, that might be something you want to look into,
Oh, yeah.
is reading our Constitution. You can read cursive writing, right?
What's that?
Swift.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. He can read cursive, so we're good because, you know, here they quit teaching Swift.
Yeah.
They quit teaching it.
Yeah.
They said it's too hard for the kids. Well, that's how our Constitution's written, is in cursive.
Mhm.
You know, but at dual citizenship, and if you guys do plan on coming here, it might be something to think about, especially if you move here and want to become an American. You'll have to read that Constitution. You have to study it.
Part of the test.
So that might be something to do, you know, to look into that. And because believe it or not, if you read our Constitution, that might give you and some of your fellow men some understanding on what you need to stand up for.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
it might. I'm just saying.
No, I think so. Yeah.
I'm not trying to antagonize the fight here or nothing, but you know, it might be beneficial to you guys.
Yeah.
And you can get little pocket deals,
Oh, well.
you know, or you can just go online and download it or whatever and read it. But for what you guys are living through every day, our youth, our millennials, our snowflakes couldn't do it. They keep saying they want socialism.
Mhm.
They want socialism.
They have
Let's
no-
try socialism. Well, how's it working in all these other countries like Hades? How's it working in Grenada? How's it working in all these other places where the government tells you exactly when you can shit, when you can't, when you can eat, when you can't, how much you can buy of this, how much you can buy of that. You know, I've been in places where you go into a grocery store and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's all gone. and socialist countries. It's all gone. Everything's gone. The government says you can only have so many pounds of meat, so many pounds of sugar, so many pounds of this or that. I've seen that. These snowflakes haven't.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where my hat's off to you guys, both of you, for living that every single day. You know, you got an economy that sucks.
No.
It's horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. You have a chancellor, i.e. president, that is destroying your country. You have representatives there that don't care about you at all.
No.
They don't give a rat's ass about you. As long as they're being taken care of, that's all that matters.
All they see is their money.
Yeah. Yeah. They get on the Autobahn, there's probably 7 cars surrounding them, so nobody will tackle them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You know, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. But, you know, my biggest thing as an American is I'm proud of our country. I'm going to fight for my president. I'm going to fight for the Constitution. I'm going to fight to stand up against tyranny, because that's what these guys are facing every day. They're facing tyranny. And with that tyranny aspect, like you heard it from him, the people of his home country are scared to stand up against the government. Well, I will tell you this, it takes one person to start something.
Oh, yeah.
It takes 1,000 for the word to start getting heard. And it takes 1 million for things to go. How many people are in Germany anyway?
82 million, something like that.
82 million.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Well, I know down in Harris County, or not Harris, Harris County in Texas, which is Houston. There's like 5 million there.
Yeah.
You know, 82 million, just think if 82 million people in Germany stood up. Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, yeah.
If Germany was to be the sounding board for the rest of Europe, wouldn't that be awesome? Take your own country back, get it back on the right path.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't help you guys rebuild that country after World War II for it to go in the hell in a handbasket. That's the last thing. Be like the Chinese and the Japanese. Japanese don't allow none of that crap. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They don't allow it. Especially the Chinese. Chinese just execute some. They just get rid of all the Muslims really fast.
Yeah.
And so does the Japanese. They don't even allow them in the country.
Yeah.
And Poland don't allow them in the country no more.
Yeah.
You know, and as an American, my hat is off to these young people, because not only what they lived through, what they gone through, but from seeing the differences now from America compared to Germany, I can see the questions in their minds, kind of like, what do I do? Where do I go? And it's like SEMA having dual citizenship in Germany and in Iran. That's got to play a lot of different things in her mind when she sits down to really think about it and look at it. I'm going to stay with this. You got to talk to your dad. I mean, really, you really got to have a heart-to-heart about what really happens with Muslims and Islam and all that crap. Because I hate to say it, but you guys could be facing it
Yeah.
sooner than you want.
Oh, yeah.
You're already getting attacked when you was going to school.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's like 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah. And it's only going to get worse now. Like I said,
yeah.
you can't go walking down the road by yourself, especially at nighttime.
Oh.
I guarantee you, nighttime's a deadly time in
Oh,
Germany,
yeah.
ain't it?
Big time.
You know. So.
And the most of the shit that happens, you don't even hear about it.
Oh, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine they don't want you to hear about it. They don't want you to hear about it.
Yeah. We only hear what they're gonna let us hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the point.
Now I had to ask a question. We was up in Visay eating lunch, and I had to ask them about what the hog rings were for. They both got nose rings. And it reminds me of the hogs. So I asked them what the deal with that was. But, you know, I can't thank you enough, Sean, for bringing them over. And I thank you guys for doing this live stream with me, because we needed to hear from somebody who lives in this every single day. And I know my thoughts and prayers are with you guys when you go home. And so I thank each and every one of you guys for being here. and being with us. And let's take what we heard from these young people and try not to let it happen here. So the last thing I got to say is this. If you sit on a wooden fence too long, you're going to get splinters in your butt. So get your ass up. Pull them splinters out.
Yeah.
Put your feet forward. Go forward. Take our republic back. And don't ever, ever let the liberals dictate what happens to you. God bless the republic. God bless the people of the Republic of the United States. We love you. And we'll talk to you later. And as Donna Joe says, grow where you plant it.